Hey guys, welcome back to the Obi-Thor Alliance. What are we doing today, Jacob?
We're reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
So stick around and see what we think of Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I'm going to apologise again. I've got still missing my voice, so if that's annoying you, I'm sorry. It's coming back. So moving beyond that, let's get into Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's been out for a week or two now. We've both seen it. Let's summarise it. What happens in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
So basically, the family Cassidy has been dealing with particles, and they have been contacting the quantum realm, and then he doesn't like this, and then they basically, unknowing to them, get sent to the quantum realm.
Yeah, basically they've been communicating. The mother of the Wasp, eludes me what her name is. She's not happy about this because there's something in the quantum realm she hasn't told them about. She's really fearful of it. Something goes wrong. They try and switch it off. They get sucked into the quantum realm. They get separated. They spend the movie trying to reunite each other and slowly discovering what's going on in the quantum realm. It's very Star Wars-esque. You know, the characters are weird looking. Each one's a bit different. You know, they're from different planets or something. Has that same kind of vibe. It tries to be a bit funny. And then they discover that this place has been taken over by Kang, and he's trying to start his dynasty. And the character that warned them about this, she knew because basically she worked out what his plans were. She became friends with him, later worked out he wasn't a great person, and helped build his ship that was going to allow him to travel between space and time and realize what he wanted. So she threw some pin particles at it and made it unreachable or unable for him to get. And he required Ant-Man or someone with pin particles to try and fix it for him so he could continue with his conquering. So the movie follows that, and then trying to prevent him from having success and leaving the quantum realm and continuing on his journey. So any more than that's probably going to be spoilers. Let's get into a verdict. Tell us what you gave, Jacob.
I gave it an 81%. The cast, the acting, visually is amazing. Really enjoyed seeing the quantum realm. The acting performance, really enjoyed. Paul Rudd, I think, gives the best performance I've seen. Hank Pym does a great performance. Kang is an excellent villain. I think every movie with Kang will be amazing. Without Kang, I think will be basically pointless now. And every performance is great. Really what this movie suffers is the writing. The writing is not good at all. The writing is predictable, shameful. The writing could have been a lot better. A lot of other Marvel movies, the writing made sense, was a lot better, and unfortunately the writing lets down the movie. But really, still would recommend watching this movie. Unfortunately, it feels more like a Cassidy movie compared to Scott Lang and Hope.
So I gave it 79%. I thought the casting was great. I thought the acting was good. The storyline, I'm not going to say it was horrible writing. It just didn't have anything exciting about it for me. It was kind of, again, a bit unsure with Kang. Is this Kang the villain? Is any Kang the villain? Like, I know people know these answers because they read into it. They've seen comic books and cartoons, and I haven't. But this movie kind of, just a movie fan, has left me going, where are we sitting at in this universe? It tried to be funny. I think it tried to follow on that line of Thor, Love and Thunder. I think Marvel's starting to cross the threshold of going too funny. You know, some movies, some parts were good. The whole premise was okay, trying to keep Kang from leaving the quantum realm, but there's just something about it that lacked. I think it was good. I think people have slandered it online and criticised it a bit too much. It was a good movie. It just wasn't what we expected. I think the trailer kind of made us think it was going to be here, and it was here. I just think the trailer didn't lead us to think it was going to be amazing. I think the perception would have been different. It just didn't live up to the expectation. It kind of over-delivered and underperformed, where I guess if it under-delivered and underperformed, then, you know, it would have been it would have been a different story. So it just lacked a little bit. 79 still an okay rate. Definitely not the worst Marvel movie like, you know, some critics are putting out there. I think that's a bit harsh. So should we move into some spoilers?
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, I think the writing suffers is because they tried to focus on Cassidy with her teenage problems, and unfortunately, I feel like I'm missing something. Her storyline is basically she wants to help everyone, even when they eventually get to the quantum realm. She wants to help people that basically tried to kill her, and then she wants to help everyone. I don't know what has happened in the previous backstory from Avengers Endgame, so I don't know what's happened there. And then Kane basically says he's killed Thor, and then we get this action scene when Kane's basically killing everyone, because the writing is like, we don't want free Ant-Man family to die. He doesn't kill them, and then the ants come, what is fine, because that's been written into the story, so they get rid of his gear. But the writing is basically so the villain doesn't win and the hero wins what's been done before.
Yeah, so I actually really liked the ant thing. I think that was quite clever.
It was cool,
that
but
they went to a different part of the quantum realm where they spent thousands of years there, and they became an advanced civilization that came and helped out. I thought that was quite cool. I like that.
I enjoyed it as well, but if it was more of a shock, I think it would have been better instead of foreshadowed. It's like, oh, you love your ants. Oh, I haven't seen ants before.
Do you think that Kang was great in this? Do you think he came across as vicious as he could be? Was he fearful? Did you at any point think that he was going to have success?
I actually would have preferred if he success and won, because I think it would have been better if he made it and could have versed the other Kanes. So I think that would have been a lot better writing to actually have him win.
Yeah, I'd like to know why he was the one that had been vanquished to the quantum realm. Like, is he like the most dangerous of all the Kangs? Like, I don't know. I think it's something that we're going to be waiting to find out.
And like I said, that's bad writing to not explain why he got vanished out of all the other ones. So unfortunately, that's the thing. And we get this dialogue that he's killed Thor. So when I was told that, it's like, you know, he can defeat Thor, but he can't defeat three people in suits that give them powers. So to me,
well, I guess he was didn't have his full set of skills and powers in the quantum realm, and that's probably why, you know, he only just started to rebuild what he had achieved. Like, maybe he had a lot more followers and a lot more power when he took on Thor in a different multiverse. That could be my only thought.
And the CGI of Matt Murdock, that was disgraceful. Never seen anything so terrible before.
It looks stupid, I must say. That's kind of how it looks in the comic books, though, right?
It looks different.
Okay, it just looks silly. I didn't find it funny. I think the movie tried to just get some cheap laughs in certain point. It also discredited, I think, the power of the suit, that basically anyone can take a suit now and have success. You know, Cassidy she has a suit, she knows how to use it now. She can be Ant-Woman. You know, it's real easy. I was like, oh, discredits, like anyone could be Ant-Man then.
Ant-Man struggling and maybe even having to choose, do you save Cassidy and your family, or do you sacrifice other humans? What do you do? Like, that sort of writing would have been more powerful.
Totally.
But unfortunately, that doesn't happen, and we get a sort of movie that is predictable, and I saw a lot of the stuff happening in the movie. Definitely saw the rebellion getting their freedom. Did you see that happening?
Yeah, I figured that would happen, yeah.
And then there was one, it's like, I'm not giving you the code, and then the one's like, oh yeah, I can read his mind. That's the only reason he was in the movie.
Yeah, it was a good character though. I didn't mind it, but yeah, there's lots of nitpicks about this movie. Ultimately, I just think it was subpar, but it's fine. It's kind of built up the next level of, you know, what's happening in this phase.
Yeah, and Scott Lang had time to write a book. That was basically what the character development was. But it was called the scene when we got to see all the Scott Langs in their armour, and then one is Baskin and Robbins employee.
Yeah, I think that was a really, really funny scene. I quite liked that. When he went in, the name for it, I think it was like a possibility, like spiral. It was like, every time he thought of a different possibility, or there was a different possibility, he would multiply. Yeah, it was very cool.
And also, what was a really big nitpick was the fact that no one would communicate with each other. So basically, Cassidy and Hank Pym didn't communicate. Hope's mum that they had been working on communicating with the mystery person who was Matt Murdock, and then Hope's mum didn't communicate that she knows who Kane is and is a pretty bad person. To me, the writing would be that they would communicate.
Definitely.
Why do you think they didn't communicate?
Well, the movie wouldn't have existed, would it?
No.
So that's just how movies are. You've got to make really obvious mistakes to give a plot. Otherwise, there's no plot. If people did everything perfect, movies wouldn't exist, would they?
No. Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you enjoyed this video. There's videos at the end. As always, you're awesome. Bye-bye.